The crowd roared like a storm crashing against the ropes of destiny as Manny Pacquiao stepped into the ring once again, not just as a fighter but as a living legend refusing to let his legacy fade quietly into history. And whether you're a hardcore boxing fan or just someone who respects greatness, what happened in this fight was more than just a match. It was a moment that gripped the world, ignited social media, and sparked a burning question in everyone's mind. Is this the return of a king or a heartfelt farewell from a warrior who still has the fire but maybe not the time? And if you didn't witness the clash between Pacquiao and Mario Barrios, then you've missed not just punches and footwork, but a powerful human story unfolding in real time. Because the energy in that ring wasn't just adrenaline, it was the sound of a man challenging his age, his critics, and even the very timeline of his prime. And while Barrios brought youth, speed, and hunger, Pacquiao delivered precision, footwork forged through decades, and a mental game only built through wars in the ring and years in the political trenches of the Philippines. And as they danced around each other in the early rounds, it was clear that Barrios was testing the waters, but Pacquiao? He wasn't there to test, he was there to prove, to answer every doubter who said his time had passed, to punch through the fog of uncertainty and remind us all why his name echoes louder than most in the annals of boxing. And each round told a story of grit and heart, with Barrios landing solid jabs and combinations while Pacquiao responded with flashes of the speed and angles that made him a global phenomenon. And even though his reflexes might not be what they were in his 20s, the intelligence, the timing, the calculated aggression were still vintage Manny, and what stood out more than the punches was the purpose in his eyes, not just fighting an opponent but fighting against time itself, and every slip, duck, and counterpunch became a metaphor for his life. Always one step ahead, always punching above his weight, and even when the crowd leaned in thinking he might slow down, he fired back with the kind of heart that can't be trained. And while Barrios did manage to control a few rounds with his reach and footwork, there was never a sense that Pacquiao was overwhelmed. Rather, it felt like a masterclass from an older lion still teaching lessons to the young, and the judge's decision, while debated by some, was secondary to the emotional impact of seeing a man once considered done coming back with this level of fire. And outside the ring, this fight carried extra weight given Pacquiao's political career, his commitments, and his role as a symbol of resilience for millions. And that dual life, politician by day, fighter by heart, created a narrative that no scriptwriter could manufacture, because this wasn't just about fists but about legacy. And the internet exploded with reactions, from memes and praise to skeptics and analysts dissecting every frame. But no one could deny the magnetism of what Pacquiao brought back into the ring, and now the conversation turns toward the future. Does he keep fighting? Perhaps one last mega fight to cap off his career, or does he walk away while still proving he's got it? And expert opinions are split, with some saying he should retire on a high and others arguing he's opened the door to one final championship run. And if you're wondering what this fight really means in the bigger picture of boxing, it's this. It reminded us of what greatness looks like, not in its peak, but in its refusal to be forgotten. And in a sport that often forgets its heroes the moment they stumble, Pacquiao returned not to reclaim a belt but to remind the world that glory doesn't expire with age, it evolves with courage. And whether or not he laces up again, this performance ensures that his name will forever stand not just among boxing royalty but as a beacon of resilience, grit, and passion that defies the ticking clock of time. So if you missed this fight, you didn't just miss a match, you missed the living pulse of boxing history beating strong once more.